Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, a free way to support the channel is by leaving a thumbs up or by leaving a comment. It does help with the algorithm. I have actually seen a very huge difference, so thank you to every single person who's been writing or thumbs upping or whatever you've been doing in the comment section. It has helped a lot. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. This market's absolutely insane. I'll give you the brief timeline. For those of you who do not know, looking at the screen, it says Ethereum breaks $900 as altcoins go nuts. Ethereum was just at $670, somewhere roughly around there. It popped up to $699. It went to, I think, $711, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what I was doing. I looked at the charts, and it was at 880, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then my friend messaged me. He was like, dude, we're getting really close. And I was like, close to what? He was like, close to 1,000. And I was like, no way. I just had assumed the price had kind of lulled off a bit. And then it popped up to 900. This was over the course of a 3-4 hour period. It wasn't really that long. It says Ethereum breaks above $900 to highs not seen since February 2018. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, you know, maybe we actually have a shot. Lo and behold, it says Ethereum crosses $1,150 after a 30% jump. Bitcoin consolidates. Ethereum and the rest of the cryptocurrency market completely went insane at the exact same time. For those of you who don't know or weren't here during the entire why aren't you listing my coin fiasco of 2017 and 2018, Bitcoin used to be the only coin pair. Every single coin was only tied to Bitcoin. There was no XRP tie. There was no Ethereum tie. There's not even a Litecoin tie. There were no stable coins. Whenever we saw Bitcoin massively pumping, it was because altcoins were being sold off, and it was always vice versa. It was always this very clear trend of what was happening. You knew exactly where a market was going to go simply based off of the fact that, once again, stable coins were not a thing and Bitcoin was the only trading pair. By the time people raised their voices enough, we started getting XRP pairs, and we mainly got Ethereum pairs. So Ethereum is also, as you've seen on many cryptocurrency exchanges, or just about all of them, is tied to every single coin. So usually you can tell when altcoins are being sold off for Bitcoin, and usually you see if Ethereum has some type of a heavy upward momentum, it kind of drags the rest of the coins with it. What ended up happening was that at some point, I don't really know what happened, Bitcoin kind of, not lulled is not even the word. We were just at $19,000 and we're looking like we're going to try and attempt 40,000 sometime this week. Bitcoin kind of, stalled, what have you, where it was. And then Ethereum just pushed up and all the other altcoins pushed up. And Ethereum kept on going higher and all the other coins also shot up at the exact same time with it. So going from 690 to 1150 in 24 hours is absolutely insane. We've been getting a lot of news quite recently discussing the fact that institutions now have an eye on Ethereum. They're thinking about accumulating Ethereum. I don't know if I've shared the other news with you before about the amount of Ethereum that's now locked inside of the contracts. I think the last we heard was, I don't remember these numbers. It was some astronomical number, more than it was before, the time that we talked about it before, the time that we talked about it before. It was always more and more Ether being locked into the system as people are looking for a way to make steady passive income on a very strong chain. So I think our previous all-time high was 1,200 or 1,400 for Ethereum. I can't honestly remember. We're very, very close to where we previously were before. This one says Ethereum analyst sees record highs this week as price climbs 60%. A lot of them. So we've kind of pulled back, if you will, in the market. The market got way too hot. Like, I can even tell it got too hot. You can kind of like look at something and go, oh, that's really hot. And I think the entire market is kind of like relaxing at the moment. Even when you look at the charts, it's clear that there's constant breaks upward, even as we're like sideways going down, that the market is still desperately trying to push itself back up. It says the everything rally of 2020 continues as altcoins boom. Altcoins have completely lost their mind. A lot of people, you can see right here, it says alt season 2021, altcoins rally almost $40 billion as Bitcoin stalls at $33,000. After a few days of Bitcoin marching forwards, and the altcoins trading behind, the situation has changed entirely in the past 24 hours. Massive double-digit gains for most altcoins have decreased Bitcoin's dominance to 68%. I believe it was 70%. I think even in 2017, I think Bitcoin's dominance was, 54 or 60%, because the altcoin market kept on surging so much that, of course, Bitcoin's dominance went down, but Bitcoin's price still went up, while the market cap has skyrocketed to over $900 billion. Okay, we are currently very close to hitting a $1 trillion market cap for the entire cryptocurrency market. If you can see I'm like fiddling with my fingers, because this is a lot to take in. When we cross by $1 trillion, we're going to start making the news. There are very few things on this planet that are worth $1 trillion. Nonetheless, a market that in reality is only has been around for 8 years, give or take. Bitcoin has been around for 12. We just celebrated Bitcoin's birthday yesterday. But altcoins coming into the scene, and even more so having the amount of altcoins that we have right now, is only like a 5-year thing, if you will. When we pass by $1 trillion, the market is going to continue to actually pump. We are currently in a price discovery mode, if you kind of want to call it that. We're trying to see exactly how high we can go during this like mini leg. It is the 4th of January, and we keep breaking records all the time. Do not be shocked when, and I'm not saying if, when we have some type of a pullback. We're currently experiencing one right now. I don't know how severe it's going to be, but there's going to be a pullback. Nothing goes up forever. There has to be a down period where things consolidate, and we keep testing to see exactly how low we will go, what the bottom actually is, what we keep bouncing off of, and then once that's been established, that's when we usually end up going back up. We have to see exactly at what price people are willing to sell off their Bitcoin. The amount of articles, my goodness, the amount of articles I'm seeing that are discussing people who are selling off their coins right now, whether it be out of fear, whether it be out of whatever is going through their head as they see the market declining or prices going down. These coins are being purchased and absorbed into accounts that have 15,000 Bitcoin, 38,000 Bitcoin. So it's kind of like feeding the beast. Everyone's throwing scraps or Satoshis at it, and it just keeps absorbing all of it. It looks like if Ethereum does continue to go bonkers and lose its mind, that we are actually in alt season. And all it really takes at this point is for Ethereum to keep moving up, which I think can definitely happen. I don't really see any major deterrent, save a 3, 4, maybe even a 5-week lull period. But I think that not only is the hype there, the adoption is there, the energy's there, the adrenaline, everything is right there. All of the people I know keep asking me how to buy into the market, how to get into the market. And friends I know who are already into the market are constantly buying more. One of my really good friends, I must have mentioned this at some point as well. We discussed like our goal for this year is to exclusively buy into the cryptocurrency market. I planned on buying tons of art. I planned on buying real estate, and I'm kind of putting all of that on the back burner because I refuse to not be a part of the gains that are expected to happen during this year. I would give you numbers, but I don't want to, hype any coin up, what have you, so and so and so. But I think if altcoins continue to perform the way that they have, which is also, once again, this is the mimic of 2017, this kind of like fervor really picking up, but we'll see where all of this ends up going. So, what does this one say? It says Ethereum price analysis. Analyst hints Ethereum price might hit 5,000 in January. The price predictions are out there. You can find them if you want. I'm going to try not to go over them. Sometimes they do sneak into videos. We are currently at the point where we are getting Bitcoin price predictions for 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 450,000 by the end of this year. We are getting Ethereum price predictions. You realize that we got no price predictions this year for Ethereum, or even last year. For Ethereum around $1,000 because everyone figured it would hit $1,000. Ethereum hitting 5,000 in January, I think would actually scare me because that means that we are well on our way to a $30,000 Ethereum sometime during this year. Once again, don't know, can't tell you. These are just numbers that are kind of thrown out there. I've thrown out price predictions before from things that I've heard. And when they didn't take place in previous years, people were like, You told your followers that this was going to happen. No, I am not a wizard or an oracle. I don't know why there are some people who still don't get that. Very big shout out to the people who have common sense, because, you know, logic. Also in the news as well, it says Litecoin has flipped XRP, moving past $167 billion. $167 per coin. Excitement around Mimblewimble launch build. So as it stands right now, before I started this video, I actually had to check to see that it happened, because a lot of times cryptocurrency websites will give you the news and then actually it happened for like 8 seconds and then it kind of goes away. At the moment of me making this video, Litecoin is the number 4 coin. XRP is currently number 5. They list the entire thing as having to do with the XRP SEC thing. I think most people don't even honestly really care about that anymore, except for people who really hate XRP or people who are heavily into the XRP community. I think it has to do with Mimblewimble. That's going to propel Litecoin very far. I know Litecoin doesn't make it into the news quite often or often at all, but it still is a very big coin. It did previously have tons of adoption, so I think there are tons of people who still have tons of Litecoin. I can't really honestly tell you, but I do think this will get us to, I think our previous all-time, what was it, 320 per Litecoin? We're probably looking at, if Ethereum goes to $30,000 and Bitcoin goes to $200,000, we're probably looking at maybe a $1,000 or a $1,500 Litecoin, and then adding on the private transactions. Wow. That could definitely lead to something as well. I wonder exactly what the saga of XRP is going to be here, because XRP did pump as well as the altcoin market was also pumping. It's just logically going to happen. But we'll see exactly where it ends up in the rankings as the time ends up going on. This one says crypto market cap now 883 billion. We passed over 900 billion. It's really a sight to behold. And I think it's Monday. Is it Monday? Where's there we go. Might have dropped my phone. My background and the numbers on my phone are the exact same color, so I was looking at it like trying to figure out exactly what it said. If everything goes the same exact course, we're probably going to try and test 950 billion sometime this week, and then just wait for the actual, explosion, as they say. Twitter analytics data, geez Louise, indicates that as Bitcoin continues to post all-time highs well into the 30,000s, social media interest in the digital currency is likewise setting new records across numerous key metrics. In a tweet on Saturday, the official handle for The Tie, a cryptocurrency data firm, showed that the number of unique Twitter handles tweeting about Bitcoin has hit a new all-time high, eclipsing a 64,000 mark last seen during the peak of the 2017 bull run. Of course, we have more people in the cryptocurrency market now. Even if they've been trickling in over the course of the last 2 years, we're going to have higher numbers. Here's the tweet right there. Joshua Frank, CEO of The Tie, provided Cointelegraph with additional information indicating that interest is only continuing to grow and that it's not limited to Bitcoin. According to Frank, since The Tie's tweet, the number of unique handles posting about Bitcoin has risen above 70,000 for the first time ever. The total tweet volume has eclipsed the December 2017 high of 135 to reach 140,000, and the overall number of crypto tweets has also hit a new high of nearly 250,000 in a 24-hour period. These numbers are going to continue happening. The significance of this is that it's an indicator of how many people are entering, have entered, or are currently in the cryptocurrency space. If we have lull periods where the amount of tweets aren't that high, it's typically because our price is relatively low and or if not actually low. I think we're at the beginning of the wave for prices, for extra adoption, for retail investors to start figuring out these things. The reason why we had so many people enter the market in 2017 was because Fox Business, was because CNBC, was because ABC, and all these other channels has started to discuss Bitcoin as it was around $10,000, $11,000, because the people and the analysts who kept on saying that it was a bubble were outspoken the day after as Bitcoin hit 13,000. It would go, it's a bubble, 17,000. So this is kind of the wave that we are entering right now. Once we start getting normal people really figuring out about this, because it's only people who are in the market or people who are connected with someone who's in the market or people who are actually in traditional markets and are looking to kind of make really good value. But these numbers are these are excellent. This is an indication of how many more people are going to get into the market and kind of who the stragglers will be that will help us, propel ourselves a lot higher. It's so weird to think that this month we could hit $50,000 per Bitcoin. Didn't we hit like 37,000? I can't remember the exact number that we hit before. But if we have that really big push and we get past $1 trillion market cap, I told you all before, like that's it. That's the moment where you can't really hold anything back anymore. And everyone is desperate to have a piece of this $1 trillion asset. The veteran trader who became popular in the crypto space for accurately calling Bitcoin's descent from its 2017 parabolic highs, says Bitcoin is now in the midst of a new parabolic advance. In a new video, Brandt highlighted that Bitcoin has the potential to rise 50% from its price of around 30,000 after it broke out from a large bullish pattern. He said, right here about where I have the crosshairs was really the start of 2020, and it was really clear back then that Bitcoin was forming a broad symmetrical triangle. This big break that we had in March faked me out a little bit. It gave me a head fake, okay, but we quickly held and continued to form the large symmetrical triangle on the bar chart. We broke out of that triangle in August. We tested in September, and the rest is history. If we measure the height of the triangle and project it from the midpoint high, we get a target in Bitcoin of around 45,000 US. And I think that's because there's 900 new Bitcoin created every single day by the system. I don't think that we actually have to hit 50,000 anymore for us to have $1 trillion market cap for Bitcoin. I think it's between $45,000 and $47,000. So if we end up in a situation where not only is the entire cryptocurrency market over $1 trillion, but Bitcoin's market cap is also over $1 trillion, oh boy. Brandt takes his predictions even further as he shows that Bitcoin is now trading within a parabola, the third in its history. Based on the trader's outlined parabolic curve, the leading cryptocurrency can meteorically rise to $325,000, but Brandt says the advance can be violated before it hits the peak. He basically sees 100,000 more so than 325,000, but once again, I'm sorry, we're about 10,000, 20,000 off, but that's the same exact number that we were hearing from the banks and everybody else before. It was 288, it was 300, 325, and $400,000 sometime over the course of this year. It's impossible to get away from price predictions at this point because we are currently on the course to doubling our previous all-time high, which we also just recently hit in like the December timeframe, the 20,000, what have you. But now we're talking about huge swaths of adoption. It's no longer this, I remember, I don't know if you remember, in 2017, I told a story. I knew a couple of people who were going about their lives and stuff like that. And when they would go into the store to play Lotto, which they shouldn't have been playing, should have been investing in crypto. They heard people standing online, like literally other people, normal people standing online talking about, yeah, I'm looking to get some Ripple and other really weird things like that. I knew somebody who got into a cab and the cab driver was asking the guy like, hey, do you have some Bitcoin? Because I have some Bitcoin. And it was this kind of really weird exchange that was going on. And it was mainly retail investors, normal people who were getting into the market and kind of like buying up everything. But now we know that it's not that. We now know that it's mega corporations who are buying up 10,000 Bitcoin every single day, and it's now having a major effect on the market. So, yeah, I keep trying to see exactly where this is all going to go because the indications that we're going to overtake the US dollar this year are a little bit too high. I keep fiddling with my hands because it's just really kind of crazy to think about. The US dollar has ruled the world for 60, 70, 80 years. something that's been around for 12 years is on the cusp of completely throwing it out the window. And you don't understand what that means for the world's economy. If we see a massive shift like that and a massive shift in wealth happening so quickly, if you have the richest people in there, and then it's going to be the tier 2, the next people who really have that light bulb going off in their head, and I think that's you, pretty much going, oh crap, like the rich people are buying all of it, I also have to buy some, and then we get the actual shift from the US dollar to Bitcoin, and then other people start getting into it as well, but you've been accumulating for a while, so yeah, boy, oh 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 boy. Chief Executive of Hercules Investments, his name is James McDonald, says Bitcoin is becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy as the value of the US dollar plummets. Speaking in an interview with CNBC's Fast Money, the head of the Los Angeles-based registered investment advisor says that Bitcoin sentiment continues to remain positive as it attracts more support from institutions. He said the case has been made for both the fundamental weakness of the dollar and the technical chart showing that it will continue. Bitcoin has attracted increasingly stronger and more ardent support in the institutional investing community, and we haven't heard anything yet. We haven't heard, I think, an actual drop in the bucket of what's actually coming our way. I think there is a religious-like following of it, and that it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If millions of people believe in something and put their money behind it, it's going to continue to bid up. We have, oh my gosh, like, okay, I'm not gonna go too much into it because it'll drain me of all my energy so early in the morning, and I don't think I'm ready for that. The energy behind Bitcoin is massive. Not only do you have the believers who understand or are trying to understand or are learning about economic policies. If you didn't see what I posted yesterday on Twitter, it's a recent interview of the head of the Federal Reserve, basically telling the guy who's interviewing him, he's like, yeah, we actually just hit a button to print more money. Like it's said, like it's not anything that, it's not a tinfoil hat. It's not that we don't believe. It's not that it's, maybe this is actually happening. He admitted it explicitly. It's been admitted many times, but this little clip is actually quite fascinating. Man, I don't know. The US dollar is not going to do very well. The adoption that we're seeing from people who care about, and so remember last year when we got news that Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, was really into Bitcoin, and I was like, everybody should really pay attention to that. It's not so much that they're rich so much as they have power and influence. If Jack Dorsey, the New York Stock Exchange, and the NASDAQ believe explicitly with money and power behind them that the US dollar is going to fall and that Bitcoin is going to take over, it doesn't really matter what the actual non-believers believe, because people within the cryptocurrency space will continue to buy into the market because we understand the actual strength of Bitcoin. As this self-fulfilling prophecy continues and we keep buying up more Satoshis because we understand that Bitcoin is actually finite, the price begins to rise. Everyone else who is a non-believer, if you will, suddenly goes, why is that thing that someone told me not to get into, why does that continue rising? And then they learn, and then more people actually get into it. We are currently at the point where the last metric that we really had for the amount of people around the world who are believed to be into Bitcoin is over 50 million people. Even if only these 50 million people continue to buy into Bitcoin, we have institutions who are buying up 40,000 Bitcoin per week, 15,000 per week, 1,000 per week. It doesn't really matter. Even if we continued on that course for a 3-year period, even if it took us 3 years, we would still get to a Bitcoin supply that's absolutely nothing, that there would be absolutely nothing left for other normal people. But at that same exact time, because of supply and demand, they can't buy that much Bitcoin and not have some sort of effect on the price. It's actually impossible. So the more people, what it has to do with is just really understanding money. Understanding what money is, why we have money, what money was before, that money was pegged to things. This is the entire point of Bitcoin, is that Bitcoin is basically pegged to itself and other things will have to be pegged to it. That Bitcoin is the store value. Bitcoin is the digital gold. I don't care if you don't like it. I don't care if you don't care about it. I don't care if you don't own Bitcoin at this point. That is you. So as more people really understand, and the other issue tends to be is that the people who don't understand or don't want to understand economic policies tend to be people in the West, air quotes, usually in North America and or in Europe, because these are the richest places on the planet. Everyone else in the world whose governments have told them you can't touch your money, you can only take out $100 per week, you can't buy this, you can't go there, you're restricted from that, I'm sorry, we've taken all of your money to pay off our debts. They understand exactly why Bitcoin is powerful. But it's everyone else in other parts of the world who continue getting big paychecks, who continue buying big cars, who have this luxurious life that isn't really luxurious because many people live on debt in the first place, which is also completely dangerous. It's that arrogance that stops these people from getting into the Bitcoin market, because they don't. Why would I care about economic policies? I'm fine. Me and my wife are fine. We have tons of money. We have tons of houses. We have tons of so-and-so. It means absolutely nothing to them, but it should mean something to everyone else in those countries. This is why it's such a really weird thing. Even over the course of 2020, we saw how many people were having troubles economically. And then my friend in New York tried to discuss with so many of his friends, like, hey, learn about money. Learn about why you're in this situation. Because I basically screamed at him 3 or 4 years ago and told him, I was like, dude, get it together. You have to learn about investing. You have to learn about money. He's only like 32 or 33, but I was like, you need to really start setting yourself up. But now, like, he's full clear picture. He gets all of it. He understands everything that's going on. But it's the same exact struggle when he's trying to explain to other people. And the only way that they're going to learn is when they're completely broken, they're flat on their faces. And at that point, it's going to be impossible for them to even think about getting an entire Bitcoin. So, we're here. The trend is not going to stop. There will be moments where we are going to try to be, people are going to try and scare us out of the market, whether it be with regulation, whether it be with this, whether it be with that. It's going to happen around the world, but you can't stop the actual flow at this point. So anyway, that's I guess, I don't even know, self-fulfilling prophecy news. It doesn't even have to be self-fulfilling. It's that world economies are absolute garbage, and they keep, almost cursed, they keep POOPING on their citizens. That's the nice way of saying it. But it's over and over. It's constantly. And like, there's only so many times you can be punched in the face before you're like, okay, stop. It hurts. Look at what happened over the course of last year and how few people, $1,200 is nothing. That money was used to push and prop up markets. I don't have it in this video. There was another video I was watching from some other guy, and he had all these charts that came from like banks and stuff like that showed kind of the reason why they were selling off their gold and were kind of betting against the US dollar and pushing their money into Bitcoin. And it showed that like the amount of money that had entered the M1 space, the US dollar, was absolutely astronomical. Like the normal chart from I think 1990 was something along these lines. In 2008 it was kind of like this, but last year alone it was a complete straight shot upward. And that can't continue. And even more so, even if you did print that much money, give it to your citizens. We're at the point now where the market is actually so consumed with money printing that you can't really get it off of it. If they stopped printing, we just printed $1 trillion US to give stimulus, which is only $600, which is also a smack in the face. They have to print money to keep the markets up, because in essence the stock market is actually the economy. It's what's the word? It's the confidence that the stock market is going up, and therefore the economy is also going to continue doing very well. What would happen if the stock market collapsed right now? What would happen to businesses? What would happen to Amazon? What would happen to all these companies? You'd hear about massive layoffs. You hear about so-and-so. You hear about closures. That would destroy the U.S. economy. How do you keep that going? You have to print more money. And you print more money to push into the market to make it seem like it's okay. The jobs don't return, because these jobs that people lost last year are not returning anytime soon, if ever. We are now, have you not seen the dancing robot video? Automation is here, and it's going to take over everything. This is a very big thing that we have to focus on this year. It should have been the focus last year, but what have you, so blah, 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 blah. So as it stands, when you talk about the richest country on the planet having terrible economic policies, you can only assume that other countries that are not as rich as it They have even worse economic policies, and they're only going to continue to be worse because governments are used to this idea for the last 80 years. Well, we can just print money. It's fine. Just hit the button, print more money, and give it to the banks and give it to the people who need it. And the citizens, well, they'll figure it out. They can go to the job center, and we can give them, here's an extra $400 per month, and I hope it lasts you. It's madness. It's absolute madness, and this is the true value prospect for Bitcoin. Is that we have a system that gets us away completely from the old system that can be used by everyone. It's mathematical. We can see exactly how much money is being printed by the system because it's all in the code. There are no surprises. There's no, stimulus checks or quantitative easing that's going to be happening because we know what the system shows. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. And Kraken's Dan Held has explained why Bitcoin could be in the early days of a super cycle to $1 million. Not surprised. 0% surprised. If all of this, if our halving, the halving that we had last year, has not been priced into Bitcoin yet, and we are talking about a $300,000 Bitcoin this year, imagine in 4 years when we've had the next halving. And typically Bitcoin sees a 10 to 20x from its previous all-time high. This is why we get the entire talk of a 20,000 Bitcoin. A 10x is $200,000, or a 20x is $400,000. If we're talking about these numbers this year, imagine in 4 years when we have another halving. We're talking about a $4 to $8 million Bitcoin. Imagine the next halving after that. And keeping in mind, the halvings will continue until the year 2140. Bitcoin is going to be the world reserve currency. There's no actual going around that. I don't know how to make this clear. And once again, like I've been saying the last couple of videos, I make sure that you have this information so that you can't feign fake ignorance or simply say that you did not know that all this was going to happen. If you love altcoins, if you love this coin, if you love so-and-so, just understand the trend that's actually taking place. Bitcoin has to reach $250,000 to overtake the US dollar. What does that mean if Bitcoin has reached $1 million? $4 million. There is no longer a US dollar, or there might be a US dollar, it might just be on people's walls like this currency was thrown into oblivion by the government. What happens to the other currencies that are already in a 25% inflation, a 1,000,000% inflation? What happens in the year 2040? How many halvings have we had? How high is Bitcoin's price? That's when Bitcoin starts absorbing debt. So, yeah, that's all that. Just understand where all this is going. And I've been saying it for a while. I said it even when Bitcoin dropped to 3,000. I was like, just pay attention, keep your head down and stay focused to where all of this is going. Because it's very obvious at this point. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters, Bolero Bastos, Crayola Michelle, URL, On Crypto with Lionel, Tigger Macho Nisa, Bake Me a Cake, Arfmedic17, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Bodie McBoatface, Yes to Crypto, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day, Minting Coins, Jeremy Fox, Jim Gardner, Anthony Charles, Nick Mangialavori, Paxis, Vlad the Impaler, Richie Rich 3, Setsuna, Damien, Crypto Artist, Cold D3D, Bankroll Network, 242 to the World, Wise Knight, Owl, Jared Schneider, Master Ventures in Thailand is something in my eye. Oh gosh, go away. Moher Maroney, Adam Graysick, Todd Mullis, A Bibliophobia, The Animal Reader, John Sarson, Nostromo, Martin Steuer, Joshua Vineyard, Moonman High, XRP, Utopia 569, Oscar Maldonado, Yasha Harari, Attila the Han, David James, Navarro Williams. I'm so excited for this year. Dude, you have no idea. I am so stoked for this year. Like, thinking about I get really happy when I think about the amount of money that my viewers are going to make. And I'm not even, almost cursed again. I'm not even joking. The idea that so many of you are going to be able to retire this year is one of the craziest things in the entire world. Navarro Williams, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Tolik Banan, Snacky Chan, Conan Don't Skip Leg Day, George Montoya, Wise Link, not TMI, Crypto Stahl, and Professor Wally from Gunbot University. Thank you all incredibly much for your support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who left a comment, who left a thumbs up, who left an algorithm, all these things. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I cannot say it enough. This has been a wild ride, and we are not even close to being done with it. At the moment, Bitcoin is currently at $30,971 US. It is down by 9.46%. This was bound to happen. It's just simple math. It's simple timing, what have you. Ethereum is at $968, currently still up by 17%. This is the dip right here. The altcoins bucked the entire trend up until this point right here when Bitcoin had like an actual massive fall down. Bitcoin is still a major magnet in the sky. There's no real escaping it for at least for a long period of time. The altcoins, as you can see, it's still up 13%, 4%, 17%. They did extremely well over the course of a 16, 18-hour period. All we need is for that trend to kind of continue. ADA is at 20 cents, looking very good. Binance Coin is at $40. I'm pretty sure that's an all-time high for Binance Coin, if I'm not mistaken. Chainlink is at $13. Wrapped Bitcoin is down because it is same as Bitcoin. Wrapped Bitcoin has also entered into the top 12. Last time we saw it, I think it was top 16. I'm pretty sure it's going to enter the top 10 as more people continue to wrap their Bitcoin into Ethereum. Anything else completely insane? I don't really think so. Theta's down, sure. Why the fudge not? Dogecoin is down by 28%. The news that we had was that Elon Musk tweeted about it, and then it skyrocketed 130%. What did people think was going to happen? If we ever get to a $1 Dogecoin, I don't understand reality. Yeah, everything is going down basically because of Bitcoin right now, because of the gravitational pull. But to be fair, we're still a lot higher than we were 15 days ago. So, you know, still thumbs up. Yeah, I do hope you all enjoyed. Truly and surely and completely. I hope you're all having a great day. Hope you all have a great week. And know we got to go back to work. Don't let it get you down. Just remember, this year is going to be absolutely massive. And a lot of you will be able to write a lovely letter and nothing else to your boss telling them thank you for your time. But, you know, don't need this job anymore. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.